Welcome to Proving Grounds. This is where the biggest names of the sport take on the most ambitious course ever constructed, with the world's top builders empowered to sculpt a venue for pure self-expression. A place where you can earn your way in as a dark horse and leave with your stamp on the architecture of the sport.
We're the best slopestyle athletes in the world.
Where you can play to your strengths,
But he loves the big bike.
but can't escape your weaknesses.
Oh, yes! Big extension on the nose, but he can't.
This is where a lifetime of experience meets the presence of the day. Will there be alignment? This is Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour.
Welcome to Prineville, Oregon, home of Proving Grounds. This competition is so unique in the mountain bike space. It's one of my favorites to witness because you get all these different athletes coming from such different aspects of mountain biking. You've got your legends, the people who've been doing this for so long. And then you have your newcomers, people that are trying to build their name. And then you've got your slopestyle athletes and your freeride athletes. And there's no other event in mountain biking bringing together that pool of talent on the same venue.
It's just a perfect time in this sport to have this event. For the women's field, we've got a talent pool deep enough to where they're absolutely going to be battling it out for the same prize purse as the men on the same exact course. In the men's field, you have such a mix of different athletes, from the unstoppable slopestyle athlete, Emil Johansen, all the way to guys like Carson Storage, who is the defending champion from this event last year. For more info on the course and the judging criteria, let's throw it down to the third member of our team, Keelani Hines.
Thanks, guys. I am up here mid-course, and this is one of the most ambitious ones built yet. There's huge dirt jumps and massive wood features, which gives the riders multiple choices down the course. Now, Proving Grounds is a judged event. The riders will be judged off of these 4 criteria: degree of difficulty, tricks and style, fluidity and control, and amplitude and air. It's looking like it's going to be an awesome event. It's about to kick off, so I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Keelani. I think it's important to note as we head to the top for our first rider that the wind's been picking up throughout the day over the last couple of days. So we're really looking for this first run to be completed top to bottom, super smooth and clean. Let's hear from Vaya.
I do feel very fortunate. This event, I'm so happy that the girls that are turning up to it is I think a lot of us have been so ready for this to happen and just either didn't have the ability to come out of a contract where your obligations are more racing-wise, or just didn't have the opportunity to show up at something like this. But I think that we have a really strong field of ladies showing up here, and having that go out to the world is definitely the best thing that could happen for the sport, really. And we have a solid field as well. This is only the beginning, but it's ramping up so fast, so it's quite exciting.
So Vaya's gonna kick this competition off. I know everybody's really excited to see her here in this freeride realm. She is such a racer at heart. You see her on the Crankworks Tour all year, but she has the freeride bug. She's been spending time in southern Utah. Now here she is competing in a full top to bottom contest run at Natural Selection Proving Grounds. A big tuck no hander off of the dirt to dirt double into the meat cannon, styling it out nicely. Now Michelle, she's aiming at this new feature, this right-handed satellite dish wall ride. What an angle from that FPV drone. Same pilot as we have in the Winter Natural Selection Tour. Gab getting those shots with the GoPro Hero 11.
Yes, that was amazing. Way to kick things off, Vaya.
So we'll take a look back here. She opted rider's right off the start. It has a flat drop into a kicker drop. And this was the big trick moment for her in this run, the tuck no hander on the dirt to dirt double. Now off the meat cannon, this is a new option this year, fading rider's left into the right-handed satellite dish. Now a big part about this competition is line choice. She had a very smooth run top to bottom. Let's see what the judges do with it.
Oh, judges coming in with a 75.5. Vaya's gonna be happy with that one, putting it down top to bottom. Back up to the top, we have Casey Brown as our next rider. In 2019, she was the first woman to compete, and she crashed on one of the jumps, injuring her shoulder, so I'm really excited. This is kind of redemption for her.
Last time at Proving Grounds 2019, I was so like, I don't know, it was really hard conditions, to be honest, like so much wind and stuff like that. So it would be the world to me to make it T to B, but to do really well in the event would be amazing too. But for me, I'm like so hyped on just getting a good clean run and looking sick on it. Like that's what sells mountain biking, like looking sick on a bike.
Well, it's so great to have Casey back here at Proving Grounds. She was the only woman breaking down barriers in 2019, competing against the men. And the unfortunate thing was after that crash, that's all anybody talked about. They didn't realize she was doing top to bottom runs all week. Here we go, first run of 2 for Casey, smooth so far. Oh, that's too bad. She came up a little bit inside on that hip, and you need to be lined up absolutely perfect, middle of that landing to be able to connect to that next berm. Luckily for Casey, this is a best of 2 run format. Let's take a look back at how smooth she was off of that top drop, going rider's left, which is a way bigger option to drop into this Proving Grounds course.
All right, Casey's gonna be looking for her second run to complete that T to B. Unfortunately, you know, back in 2019 when Casey was the first female to compete in this field, I actually drove up from Lake Tahoe just to watch it happen. So I'm so excited to be here again watching Casey. Hopefully her second run comes together. And now we're gonna take a look at the collaboration between Natural Selection and Proving Grounds and talk about the vision of the course.
Natural Selection Proving Grounds. How the hell did we get here?
Proving Grounds is an event that highlights the best mountain bikers in the world.
The Natural Selection Tour is Premier League in snowboarding.
The second I started watching Natural Selection, I'm like, this is just kind of like what we're doing on dirt.
It's the beauty of the seasonality. In the mountains, riding snow in winter, and melts off and on the bike.
And so when we started talking, this just made huge sense to bring these two sports together, allowing all these athletes to have a venue to come prove themselves.
Proving Grounds is exactly the place to come and show your skill.
This course allows for riders to showcase so much more than whoever's the best at one specific line.
So much goes into building a venue like this.
It has to come from somebody's mind.
My name is Kyle Jamison, and I am the course designer and lead build.
They did a really good job on the course build.
It's incredibly mathematical.
Each year, they just make the course better for us.
I really like how we designed the course so it's at your own interpretation. The lines are crisscrossing the whole way.
Multiple lines, tons of different features, wood, dirt, it's got a little bit of everything.
Everyone can bring their unique approach, which I think is what makes this event special.
Everyone rides differently, and it really gets to highlight everyone's strengths. It makes me want to come back every year and build something new.
KJ and Black Sage Dirt Works have just been integral. We couldn't have done this without them.
Well, it's been so exciting watching the worlds of snowboarding and mountain biking collide here. Proving Grounds bringing the best men and women together to drop top to bottom lines. Looks like we have Vinnie Armstrong up next.
Yeah, Vinnie Armstrong coming out of New Zealand. She's young, she's got so much style. She's got a world-renowned whip. Let's hear from Vinnie.
Yeah, for the next few years, I want to do more of these like freeride events, so like Fest Series and like the Proving Grounds tour. I really want to like focus on learning more tricks and just being better on the big bike.
Well, talking to Vinnie earlier in the week, I found out more about her background. She comes from a dirt jumping background. It makes all the sense in the world now. You see her composure on the bike on these huge features. And watch here as she drops into this run going rider's right.
Looking so smooth off the bat. Here we go, Vinnie.
There we go, Vinnie with a one-footed can. You know the judges are looking for more than just tricks, but it definitely helps earn some points if you're throwing tricks like that one-footed can.
That feature's huge coming into the next little shark fin here. Let's see what she's got.
Getting that onboard view thanks to our GoPro cameras. She's going right down the middle, so another 2 features. There we go, one-footed can again, and one last jump for Vinnie.
Give it to us, give it to, there it is. That's the whip I've been looking for.
There's that whip from Vinnie Armstrong, something she's known for. And the big question at this point right now, will that be enough to beat Via's 75.5? Let's take a look back at some highlights from this run. She chose to go riders right off of that Industry 9 step down. Smooth, may not have had a trick there, but execution is definitely important on the judges' scorecard. She's getting the tricks with that one-footed can. 2 different times on the course, but you really can't dock her for any execution on those straight airs. That one-footed can was extended as well.
Yeah, looking so clean coming down the course. I was holding my breath for this moment. Just getting it sideways. I love that whip.
Well, such a flawless run. The big question right now, will it be enough? We're waiting for the score here from Vinnie Armstrong.
Oh, there it is, the 78.75. That puts Vinnie in the top position.
Vinnie, you just did your first run and you just went into first place, but you told me that that was your first top to bottom run.
Yeah, that was my first top to bottom run of this whole week. I haven't really been able to do like a T to B in practice yet, so it was all right.
And straight into it. Now, you're doing a lot of tricks out there. Is there anything that you think you want to change for your second run if you get knocked out of that top spot?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm just happy to go off and maybe get another run if it's not windy, and just stoked to be out here and ride.
Yeah, have another party lap.
Yeah, pretty much, just another party lap.
Awesome, well, great work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kealani. I love that, a party lap. She's having fun out there. That was an amazing run by Vinnie Armstrong, but no one should be getting too comfortable with our final rider on the women's side, still to drop. We'll have 2021 champion Camila Nogueira, first of 2 runs when we return to Proving Grounds, a part of the Natural Selection Tour.
3 boxes on course. Wow, dipping the nose on that 360 flat drop to kick things off here. Back flipping the second feature. Starting off very similar to how things were going in run number 1, but getting that tuck no-hander. And there we go. The connection features are rolling smoother this time around. He lines up into the Megalodon. Nice one-footed table out. All right, this is what we wanted to see in run number 1 from Reed Boggs, and he is putting it together here now in run number 2. Into the judges' penthouse. Suicide, no-hander. What's he got? Tons of speed into the final jump. Big old cork down flip for Reed Boggs, and the crowd goes wild. Reed Boggs scores an 87.25 and rolls into second place. Let's hear it for Reed Boggs.
Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour, is presented by Pacifico. Live Life Anchors Up. And supported by Yeti and Backcountry.
Oh, what a great vibe out here at Proving Grounds. Tons of mountain bike fans and just people who are fans of hanging out on a sunny day on the weekend. We got the Backcountry Airstream selling merchandise from Fox Racing. Also, the Pacifico Beer Garden keeping everybody enthused. As we take a look at the top, last year's defending champion, Cammy Nogueira, getting ready to take to the course.
I love that we have now some women's event because they also help us with our progression. But I love to be riding with the guys, and I get so inspired watching all these guys. So hopefully we keep coming to these kind of events, keep learning from the boys, and I don't know, maybe have a competition like Rampage in the future or something like that. I would love to be doing that.
Well, she talks about inspiration. Think about how many women she inspired to be competing elbow to elbow with her right now.
I know, it's amazing. Cammy is not one to shy away from big air.
So here she is taking to this course here. Cammy Nogueira, last year's champion. Let's see which line she chooses today. There are so many big options on this course. Cammy Nogueira smooth, going riders right into that dirt-to-dirt double. Now aiming things up to the Yeti meat cannon.
Coming in with speed and composure.
So Cammy Nogueira off of Pacifico Jaws. We've seen everybody okay, well, she's going left,
wow.
Michelle. Yeah!
Oh my, that was amazing. That feature is absolutely massive. Holy.
Wow, Cammy Nogueira hitting the biggest feature on the course. Well, the amplitude category on the judges' scorecard is gonna have a big number next to it, that's for sure. Let's take a look back.
Yeah, you've got to imagine from the athlete perspective that she just wants to make it down to that huge bomber drop. And the whole top part of the course is basically lead up for that thing. Look at her airing this huge air, coming in, all the composure. Her mind is set on this drop.
Yeah, there was rumors all week that Cammie wanted to hit the bomber drop, and here she is. What a view here from our drone angle.
Yeah, I love that angle. Gives it a little bit more perspective just how big that is. The score to beat is 78.75 as we await, 82.75. There it is.
Cammie, you just went into the #1 position. You're not only last year's winner, but you just showed us why by sending it on that bomber drop. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling stoked. I just did everything clean, and that was what I wanted to do, so I'm happy and I'm stoked, yeah.
Just riding with all the friends, sending big jumps. You're just stoked to be here?
Yeah, it's so impressive. See the other girls send it, and yes, it's so cool. I'm so happy to be here riding with all my friends.
That's awesome. Well,
best feel ever.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, there's a look at our top 3 as it stands right now after run 1 for the women. Now, it's a tough road even to get here to have the opportunity to do 2 runs in this final. We had a qualification round where 5 men were able to make it into the finals. Let's take a look at some highlights from the men's qualifier.
The fact that there's such a huge field this year at Proving Grounds. You know, you've got pre-qualified riders and you also have a full qualification day working towards an event where the majority of spots onto the tour are earned and can be wild card. It's just a healthier way to do it.
The qualifying in Proving Grounds is so special because there's not any other freeride competitions in America. We have Rampage, Upper Echelon, and then there's Proving Grounds. So opening that stage up to those other athletes that don't really get to shine is super cool, and I think it's gonna be a great show.
Rolling in off that underline, big 360, Jeff.
Yes, 100%. You gotta have avenues for young kids to make their name. Obviously, there's social media, there's movies and videos and everything, but having something like this for the young kids is such a good way for them to make their name. And I don't even know some of these kids, and they're absolutely ripping.
It's so cool having like a pressure on you, you know? It's not just like people watching, but like just for yourself. So it feels just insane. Like the nerves, you don't get anything else like it. And there's just so many legends here. It's just amazing being around them.
Number 27, Brett Rear.
Oh, it feels great. It's been so long since I dropped into a contest, and just dealing with the nerves of training and getting ready, and like it's just qualifying. So I know there's a lot more to come, but just to break the ice with that run was really good.
That's awesome.
It's been a really hard 2 months. I broke my fibula 2 months ago, and I can't be more stoked. I just progressed. I just beat the demons, and that's what it matters for me.
Talking about facing demons, Bienvey showed up here injured, wasn't sure he was going to be able to ride, and he qualified. He will be our first guy to drop in the men's field. I can't wait to watch him ride.
It was hard for the mindset to just do straight lines on the practice. I actually broke my fibula 2 months ago, which is not too long. And then 2 weeks ago, I felt like I was back at it. Someone crashed on me. I broke my AC on my shoulder, and I hurt my wrist. And I was like, damn. And because of the wind and the wrist, the first 2 days of practice, I had almost no practice.
Well, Bienvenido Aguado Alba has nothing to prove out here. He competed in 2019, but after injury, he had to earn this spot. So let's see if he can capitalize on this opportunity. Big knack off of the lip down into the dirt-to-dirt double. What do we have? A front flip, a trick that Bienvenido is very well known for. He actually did it off of this meat cannon in 2019. Keeping things smooth, looks like a one-handed variation. Ooh, Bienvey's going to the canyon gap. Here we go, the Black Rhino canyon gap, a scissor kick ending there right into a backflip. One last jump. Huge extension on that Superman. Wow, way to go for Bienvey, all the way from the qualifier. Kicking things off for the men's field with a smooth top to bottom.
Yeah, it sounds like he had quite the domino effect of injuries coming into this contest, so I'm just excited to see him riding and throwing tricks. That's incredible.
Yeah, he's known for those front flips. Obviously, coming into this event after those injuries, he hasn't had a chance to brush up on his tricks. I don't know where he pulled those from.
There we go. Scoreboard's up, 76.50. And our next rider in the gate is Conor Mcfarland. Historically, in competition, he's had a hard time linking a run top to bottom.
So true. It was great to see him stomp a run in qualifying, make it to the finals. Let's see if he can keep that momentum rolling here.
Yeah, so I came out here 2019, got to see it all. Came out with my big bike. This year, I brought my small bike. Still not sure if it's better or worse than my big bike, but it's pretty cool to come back, see what all the guys have built and changed. There's so many more features now. So it's cool, you got heaps of line options, and obviously the caliber is through the roof now. It's only, what, 2 or 3 years later, and dude, there's so many young up-and-comers, so pretty stoked.
So Conor Mcfarland, one of these handful of riders choosing to ride the single crown setup, leaving the door open for so many of those technical tricks, incorporating bar spins and tail whips. Nice smooth 360 drop at the top, linking it to the backflip step down. All tricks so far here for Conor Mcfarland. There it is, a backflip bar spin, putting that bike setup to good use. Now into the Yeti meat cannon. Good extension on the suicide, no-hander. We were so fired up to see him get a smooth qualification run. I'm hoping he can do the same here in finals. Nice invert on that log jam. Backflip one-handed X up. Cool variation there. And a tail whip to finish things off.
Top to bottom, complete. I am so psyched for him.
Wow, that's gotta feel great. I mean, it was such a huge monkey off of his back to get a clean quali run, and now it's just rinse and repeat here in finals. The backflip bar spin is definitely going to score high, a technical trick you can only do with that single crown fork, and then off of the soundbox log jam, clean on that inverted table, and then the backflip one-handed X up, making sure to not repeat tricks on this run. A good variety, finishing things off with that tail whip.
Here we go. The score comes in 87.25, moving him into first place. Let's send it to Keelani, who's in the finish corral right now.
Straight into the #1 spot. This is your first competition, top to bottom run. First competition in like 3 years. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely struggled with the old top to bottoms practice. Normally not too bad. Comp run, I've always struggled, so I'm so stoked just to get to the bottom. Do a run I'm happy with, like, yeah, I'm so stoked.
You're happy with it, but is there a little bit of want to get on that top step here today?
You know, my main goal for this was just to do top to bottoms, because I know I've struggled with it in the past. So I'm stoked with the top to bottom, and now I've got to go decide if I want to do the gnarly stuff that's in my head, but I've got to weigh that up, so.
We'll have to wait and see, right?
Cheers.
Wow, what a great run to kick things off. As we take a look back up at the top, this guy, come on.
It's been a pretty interesting couple of years. I had to take a step back from the pressure that I'd put on myself for all the slopestyle. And while I was gone, I also went through 2 pretty major injuries that were back to back. And it really knocked me off my high horse. And I was sort of forced to see things from a different perspective. And in the end, it gave me a whole new appreciation, outlook on the way I live my life, but also appreciation for the sport, and being able to come back sort of like fresh, like with a fresh mind with it all is pretty interesting.
Well, this right here is exciting. Brett Reeder with a fresh mindset. And if what we saw in qualifying was any indication, the riders need to look out. Oh, kicking things off with a flat drop backflip off the rider's left option straight into an opposite corked out 450. He is already so aggressive. 2 big tricks already into the meat cannon with a tail whip. Oh, if he can hold this together, this is going to score very high. What does he have on the Red Bull Moto Kicker? Okay, another flat spin 360, this time rotated his natural direction. He's going to the big drop. Bar spin there.
So clean.
What does he have on the final jump? A backflip tail whip.
Wow.
Humongous slope style combinations here at Proving Grounds. Brett Reeder is back.
That was incredible to witness. I can't wait to see what the judges come up with.
Well, there's a lot to digest here. Kicking things off with the flat drop backflip off the backcountry start drop. And then that's got to be one of the biggest tricks we've seen at Proving Grounds, the tail up off of the Yeti meat cannon. And then keeping the tricks flowing, a bar spin. Look how much time he has after catching the bars.
He is so composed and so stylish. Didn't skip a beat from his injuries.
Well, I can't tell you how hard it is to do those tricks on this big bike. What will the score be?
93.25, there it is.
Brett, you just came down here. You just gave all of us the goosebumps with that run. I know it's been a minute since you've been off of the competing scene, but you're out here just absolutely destroying the course. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I feel so relieved. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that. I was still started putting it together like as I was sitting on the roll-in before the run. So it all worked out, and now I'm down at the bottom. So relieved.
That's amazing. And if you have to do a second run, are you just happy to be here and doing what you're doing right now, being with your friends and enjoying being back at competition again?
Totally, yeah. Like I made a point that was the goal coming back. It's not about the win. It's not about the points, the money, the result. It's just to be here and be part of the community. It's the most important thing, and I'm happy.
That's amazing. Well, we're happy to see you back.
Thank you.
So a phenomenal run for Reeder, but there are a lot of riders between him and staying in that top spot, like this guy, Nikolai Ragakin. We'll have his run when we return to Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour.
It's got to be Cami, originally from Argentina. Perfect connection to the top of these first two landings here, going rider's right option off the start. And if she continues on the same path, she's going to be going into the meat cannon. There she is. She went pretty long in run number one, I believe. Very smooth now. You see how her head does not move when she touches the landing. The judges love that. Where's she going to land here on this jump? Oh, there we go. She's going to score high for putting it right into the money spot on that landing on the wood to dirt kicker. And what's it going to be here for the final jump? Cami Nogueira right to the landing. All right, all right, all right. Cami goes into the lead. First ever women's category at a free ride event of this caliber. Top to bottom runs. Winner take all.
Welcome back to Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour. We're here, the winds have been cooperating, but as you can see on those Fox flags, it's starting to pick up a little bit.
And we got some serious heavy hitters who are waiting for those flags to stay calm. This guy right here, we got Adolf Silva up next. You never know what to expect from this guy. We saw him throwing double flips in best trick. Can't wait to see his final run.
I'm loving the course. It's so many options, and I think it's great because you can just choose your line and show your style. And there's a bunch of riders, and there's completely different styles of riders, and it gives opportunities to everyone to show their actual style of riding. So I think it's great.
And his style of riding can be described as a loose cannon. This guy throws caution to the wind. Just mentioned it a minute ago. We saw him do a double backflip in best trick, and it was like hurricane winds during best trick. So can he link something together here for a full course run? Huge extension on that Superman. A lot of speed into this Yeti meat cannon. Oh!
Yes!
Going for a Superman seat grab. Now that trick on that feature is so irregular to see. There's some extension. Getting the Superman seat grab all the way stretched out on the moto ramp. Look at this, a ton of seat grabs. You wouldn't expect to see it on that feature. Oh, he's going for the double!
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I hope he's okay. Double thumbs up, he looks like he's all right.
I told you at the top of the run.
Yep, he went for it.
He's full of surprises. I mean, the speed's different coming from that drop into that last jump compared to what he rode in for that double flip in best trick. But yeah, smooth at the top, a ton of extension tricks. I can think of 4 right off the top of my head. The ones on the jumps were fully extended
Look
past
at that.
horizontal there. But I think what's really going to score high, I mean, obviously the run's a bit of a throwaway with this double flip crash, but the drop tricks, such a huge degree of difficulty on those. He did not have the speed for that double flip, but of course he's Adolf Silva, so he went for it anyways.
There we got the thumbs up. I love that. Glad to see him up and walking.
Yeah, wasting no time putting those thumbs in the air. That's going to be a throwaway score, 46.75 for Adolf Silva. Well, it's good to see him pop up quick. That was still quite an impact. But we got the next rider gearing up in the start gate. It's going to be Johnny Salido. He's got a lot of history with this event.
Proving Grounds, it's really important to me because I've been here since day one. I managed to sneak myself into the first event, and then I placed second, and that way I got into Rebel Rampage, and that just catapulted my career so much. So yeah, came back second year, didn't do that well, but yeah, here for the third edition and ready to perform and yeah, put myself back on top.
So Johnny Salido, a rider who loves the big bike. This competition format is right up his alley, kicking things off with a 360 drop, linking it nicely into that backflip on the step down. Clean no-footed can-can.
Coming into the 510 Megalodon, what does he have?
So some of these features here are hard enough just to ride, but wow, when you do something like, I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither, mixing it up. We haven't seen that yet.
That made up for the straight air out of the Megalodon. There we go, another one-footed can-can off of the bomber drop. Last feature, oh, that's a huge combo. Backflip, scissor kick, Indian air. I'll even give him points for those slashes into the final straightaway there.
Absolutely, looking to get on the podium, as he mentioned up top. I wonder if that's gonna do it for him.
So when you see people ride the rider's right option, the 360 drop and the backflip step down are super common. But then when you see something like this is how you differentiate yourself and get some of those points hidden out there on the course that other riders don't know how to find. Riding side saddle around the entire Pacifico Jaws, and then the one-footed can-can off of the biggest drop on the course. That last jump is made for stuff like this, big flip variations.
Waiting on the score here, 85.25. That moves him into third place. Let's send it to Keelani.
Johnny, we just got your score in. You went into third place, but you came down here super stoked on your run. Tell me about it.
Yes, I'm stoked to be down here in one piece. It's been yeah, a sick week. I missed one thing on my first run, which I think I can do on the second one. But yeah, just feeling great, stoked, and stoked to be here.
Awesome. Do you think you have any more in the tank?
Yeah, a little bit for sure. If we get to do second runs, I'll try to get something more up there, see if we can get some more points.
Awesome. Well, great work.
Thank you.
This guy right here, such a showman, Nikolai Ragakin. You know, he's always the guy to get the crowd roaring. Even if there's wind, you know he's gonna throw down.
Oh, I would be absolutely fired up to get a win here. It would take a really gnarly run, a run that I would be really in the zone for at the top. So if I got to the bottom with every single bit of the run hit, I would be extremely fired up. So would be super hyped to get that done. I'm really gonna have to do some things out of my comfort zone to do a winning run here. So motivated to get on course and check how my limits are out there.
So when you hear him planning to push his limits are very, very far. So you know we're about to witness something pretty exciting. I talked to him a little bit and he did kind of mention a few of his goals for this run. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for some of those trick jumps. We have one right here, going for a standard backflip, maybe keeping things tight for the bigger features down the course. Off of the Yeti meat cannon, we got a great extension on that tuck no-hander. This is where Nikolai could let things hang out. The Red Bull Moto Kicker, the cash roll!
No!
Oh
no!
That's a cash roll!
Okay, he had mentioned he wanted to pull out a 720 variation, so I was thinking, all right, it could be that cash roll or it could be a cork 720. He went for the cash roll, which is essentially a front flip 360.
How hard is that to do on a downhill bike?
That's the thing, right? We see him doing this trick all the time on the smaller bikes during the slopestyle world tour. But to scale that trick to a jump like this, it doesn't have as steep of a lip, and on a bike that has bigger wheels, longer travel suspension, you can see how technical that move is. It looked to me like a little bit of an over-rotation.
We'll be looking for his second run score on this one, but run 1 came in at a 43.50.
Yeah, I really hope he can get back up to the top and stomp that trick. That trick means a lot to this sport and the level we've gotten to. It reminds me a lot of snowboarding. Winter's coming up pretty soon.
Natural selection is one of my favorite events to watch in the wintertime. You have athletes that are coming out of their competition retirement, competing with those that are at the top of their game. Just like this guy, Emil Johansen, sitting up top.
Yeah, Emil, 8 straight Crankworx slopestyle wins. It's going to be interesting to see him take to this course.
I think there's a lot more out there for slopestyle riders in particular. Like, even though like we get pretty one-sided that we ride a shorter travel bike, all those bike control and like the air awareness and stuff, you just put in the time on a big bike, you're able to translate a lot and move it over. So it's exciting to be on a big bike. I like get excited by spinning a jump instead of like doing a windshield wiper 360.
Well, the word dominance is an understatement when you're talking about Emil Johansen and the sport of mountain bike slopestyle. But right here, this is an exciting thing to witness. A bigger bike, bigger drops. Look at that, bringing those slopestyle tricks to the big features. A truck driver, 360 bar spin off the backcountry step down. And there we go, a downside tail up, which actually was his opposite direction on that left-hand hip into the 510 Megalodon. And of course he's gonna trick out. He throws the bar spin, so he's using this single crown bike to his advantage. This is the first time we've seen somebody ride far riders right here, styled out toboggan on the hip, a backflip, one-footed can-can, final jump. What's he gonna, oh yes!
Oh, wow.
There we go. He needed a big banger. Thinking about the fact that Reeder had that flip whip, Emil Johansen goes for the 360 tail whip.
Score to beat here by Reeder is 93.25. Can Emil do it? This is a bit of a cliffhanger for me.
Well, that's going to score high. We've never seen a truck driver, which is a 360 bar spin, on a drop that big. That backcountry flat drop, the rider's left side of the top of the course, is the second biggest drop on the course, so he's getting amplitude and tricks. But this trick right here, I can't think of a time when I saw a 360 tail whip on a bike that big.
Now we're just waiting for his score. Can he beat Brett Reeder? He comes in with a 90 flat. That puts him into second place.
Emil, you just came down. We got your score. You're in second place now, but you just mentioned you've had a huge season and you're here at Proving Grounds. How are you feeling right now?
Happy to be here. It's been quite a hectic season, so coming from a different event on a different bike, coming here, getting used to a different bike again, it's challenging, but stoked to be one piece at the bottom and done a run I'm happy with.
Great, and if you have to do another run, do you think that you've got a little bit more in the tank to put that down?
I will, yeah, we will see.
We'll see. Great.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Keolani. What a treat to see Emil ride here on this course.
So Thomas Janon at the top of the course, ready to drop in for run number 1.
Jumping from one event to another, from one bike to another, always is definitely super hard, but that's really where I am at right now. Like, I really like riding all my bikes and I like competing, so obviously I want to be part of everything.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Janon earlier in the week, and I think the hardest part for a rider who has such a diverse skill set like him is to decide what to do. Good decision there, 360 drop off of the backcountry flat drop. So much style out of this rider, so when you see him do things like that one-footed table, he's getting those style points. Good extension on that suicide no-hander. Another one-footed table out of the Megalodon. And my big question here is what tricks he's going to choose on the final 3 jumps. Oh, that's his opposite direction. You'd never know it by how smooth he makes that look. Then balancing it out with his regular direction. And a big seat grab Indian air off of the final jump for Thomas Janon.
That was a clean run. He's got to be happy with that.
So there we go, playing toward his strengths. He's a slopestyle rider who is a fixture on the big mountain circuit, so he can adapt those big tricks to things like that first flat drop, and then technical tricks like that opposite 360 one-footed Euro. Then he balanced it out with the regular 360, and then timeless move there, that seat grab Indian air. It'll be interesting to see what the judges do with this one.
Score coming in at 86.25, and that puts him into 4th place. So now we're taking it back up top. We've got Dylan Stark, who really made a name for himself last year here at this event.
Oh, it's sick there is a qualifier this year, because there's a lot of grounds out there, and people are just trying to get their foot in the door, same as how I did last year, like begging to be invited to things. So I think they're going to really give it their all for the qualifier, and then we're going to see a really good show this year. And it's good. The scene's growing. There's to be more and more free riders getting into it, and it's good to have like a platform like this that shows them to like the world, and then gets them in the next step of opening their, like, changing their life for the better, you know, and getting to do what they love and show the world how like sick bikes are.
Rider number 3, Dylan Stark.
Oh, it's so exciting to see this guy dropping in here again. He is full of surprises. I have no idea what to expect. He's kicking things off with a suicide no-hander. He had so much speed carried into that backcountry flat drop. Now the 450.
Ooh, having a little fun right there.
Oh, man, the GoPro angle from that FPV drone, insane.
Oh, we haven't seen that before.
Coming out of the top of the 510 Megalodon there, styling it out with a one-handed table. Look at that. He is the only one going alley-oop 270 out of the Pacifico Jaws. Now off the 30-foot drop, a tuck no-hander, balancing it out nicely from what he did on the first drop.
He looked like he was just having fun.
Yes, Dylan, finishing strong with that flat spin 360, point back up with the homies in the judging tower. Let's take a look back at this run. It was packed. So coming out of the top of the Megalodon there, styling it out for the photographers, that one-handed table. And then this, the alley-oop 270. You see how he's coming off of the back wheel there. Nobody else is doing that. This is a new feature this year, affectionately referred to as Jaws. I have a feeling that's going to score high, especially because he's linking those 2 curved wall rides both directions. And look at that, little inside joke there. Flat spin 360.
That was a middle finger to the judges, wasn't it?
That's
His
cool.
score coming in at 92.25.
Oh, you gotta love it. The lighthearted middle finger to the judges up there. We're all friends here. This is a tight community. The event for riders by riders. Look, it's coming up next.
We've got Carson Storage, hometown hero, defending champ, when we return to Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour.
Now Paul Genovese, the Canadian. Look at this. He is out here with a very unique bike setup. He just bar spun the top drop. Looks like a Superman C grab off of the second feature, the kicker drop. Oh, this is exactly what Paul Genovese needs to do. He's playing toward his strengths, lining it up to the up box here. What does he have for you? Paul Genovese, a tail whip! Yes! Yes, Paul! Using that bike for what it is designed for here. The bar spin up top, the tail up in the middle. Here he goes. off the judge's penthouse. A suicide no-hander, humongous extension. Tuck no-hander, smooth to the landing.
What a run, bro. What a run. Dude, that tail whip had us going crazy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That tuck sucks, but we'll take it. We'll take it. You're insane, dude. You're the man.
Well, welcome back to Prineville, Oregon, right in the middle of run number 1 for the men. Everybody's having a blast out here. You see the line is big at the Backcountry Airstream, getting that exclusive Proving Grounds Fox Racing merchandise. The crowd is about ready to get loud. They have their hometown hero, Carson Storage, at the top of the course. Last year's defending champion, getting ready for his first run.
Spending, past 10 years traveling around the world competing compared to doing an event at home, it's kind of less pressure but more pressure. It's nice because I can sleep in my own bed, and I've spent a lot of time at the park here riding, building. I know the dirt really well, but also it adds an element of pressure because I know that all my family and friends and everybody's going to be here, and but it feels nice to sleep in my own bed.
So Carson Storage has had a rough week coming into this. Some issues on the highway on the way here. He got rear-ended, had to rebuild his bike after that. But look at this, he's picking up right where he left off, starting this run the way he won the event last year, 316, that big drop on the left side of the course. Good style on that left hip. He's painting the same line as 2021 into the meat cannon. The big 360.
Yes, that was awesome.
Absolutely stomped here for Carson Storage. A nice, smooth flat spin 360 on the moto ramp. You know he's going for the big drop. What does he have for us? A styled out toboggan, putting that hand on the seat and tweaking the bars, finishing things off strong. A flat spin 360 table there for Carson Storage.
He is happy to make it down in one piece. That was a beautiful run. I'm excited to see what the judges think about that one.
Well, not a lot of practice for this guy. This week has been insane for him, but somehow he put together this run. Very smooth 360 drop, and then mirroring that again in the middle of the course. So he's spinning the same direction all the way down here. We've seen some of the riders mixing things up, spinning opposite. So I have a feeling this is a bit of a safety run for Carson. Very similar to the run he used to win the competition last year, but it's a great placeholder to get a score in the books in run number 1.
And the judges have spoken. He gets the score of 88.50, which moves our defending champ into 4th place. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Keolani Hines, who's chilling with Carson.
Carson, we just got your score, but you are the local boy and you're the returning champ. But when you crossed that finish line, you had this sense of relief. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, just I probably got about 2 hours of practice this whole week. Had some trials and tribulations, a car wreck, an exploded bike, and and then everybody's dealing with the wind the whole time. So I barely rode. I'm really stoked to get a rundown. I basically had to go back to what I know and what I did last year. But yeah, I'm just stoked to be down here. It's windy. Everybody got down safe, and I'm stoked to do it in front of the home crowd.
Great. And with the conditions changing so much, do you think there's going to be a chance for second runs? What are you thinking about that?
I think it'll be up to each rider. I mean, the trend this week is the later in the day it gets, the warmer it gets, the windier it gets. So it seems like it's starting to pick up. I was sitting up there for a while. It's kind of the worst position to be in, just waiting to drop. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if somebody's hungry, they're going to drop. I don't know about me. I'm stoked on what I just did. Didn't get the score I quite wanted, but the way she goes.
Well, with the weather, you looked great out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, it's crunch time now. You heard that from Carson. He's happy to get a smooth one in the bag, but as the wind picks up, you know what? This is now or never for riders looking to get on that leaderboard. Here's what things look like right now. Carson Storage is slotted into the top 4. Top 3 looks like this: Emil Johansen, Dylan Stark, and Brett Reeder.
We've got Travis Rice loading up that Alta rack, taking the riders to the top of the course.
No, it's so cool. There's so many similarities between the world of snow and the world of mountain biking.
Do you need more access than this broadcast today? Natural Selection has built a web membership access that focuses on renewable energy and low-impact minting, and the potential upsides are limitless. By building a format for the future, these are not just JPEGs that cost money. We're talking ongoing perks, VIP experiences, future airdrops, giveaways, and much more. They have 3 different NFTs on sale right now if you want to join the growing community on the blockchain and receive unprecedented access. Get in on the action at naturalselectiontour.com before time runs out.
Getting the riders back up to the top of the course for run number 2. We're gonna kick things off again with the women's category, and we have none other than Casey Brown at the top of the course.
Boy, I hope she can complete a top to bottom run. She had that little fall in the first run. Here we go.
All right, Casey Brown dropping in. It's gonna be great to see if she can get a top to bottom here in 2022. You know, she has said many times that's her goal after a rough 2019. So smooth over the hip where she had issues in run number 1. It looks like she's aiming toward that Megalodon curved wall ride.
Oh yeah. My knuckles are white right now watching her come down this course.
No, so far so good. Here's the area of the course where she had issues in 2019. She's now made it past the halfway point, and she's only got one more feature between her and a smooth top to bottom run at Proving Grounds. She's done it.
We love to see it. Yes, so hyped for Casey Brown right now.
That's gotta be just a great monkey off of her back. 3 years of just knowing she has what it takes to put down a smooth run. Now she's finally done it, and there are so many more in this category able to celebrate this run with her now.
Important to note, too, it is windy out there.
Yeah, I mean, just riding these features is so difficult. Modulating speed between features like this Megalodon. She puts the tires down at the top of the landing on every one of these jumps. That's the kind of stuff the judges are looking for. The score to beat is 82.75, held by Cami Nogueira. Now, Cami rode that big bomber drop, so I'm not sure if this score is going to be enough, but we're going to find out here shortly.
And the score comes in at 80.50.
Really? Casey, you look surprised, but you're in second place after that run. There's so much relief. The conditions are crazy. How are you feeling right now?
I'm just so happy to get a top to bottom. That was my goal coming here, and we did it. And I'm just so hyped to have a semi-clean run and, you know, get down safely. Yeah.
Well, you did awesome, and you looked great.
Thank you. Thanks.
And we are back up top with Vinnie Armstrong for her second run. Casey just bumped her out of that second place position. Let's see if she can answer back. Here we go.
Well, this will be interesting to see because Vinnie had such a good first run. She's gonna have to get those tricks she stomped in run number 1, plus more if she wants to better her score and get back into that second place position. Oh, not getting the extension on that one-footed can. She was flawless with that in run number 1. So she's gonna have to find some points elsewhere on this course.
Vinnie is quickly becoming a staple in women's mountain biking. I love watching her growth and progression in this space.
So here she had a one-footed can on this jump in run number 1 as well. Oh, she misses that again. So barring any big trick on the last jump, it's probably not going to be an improvement. Great whip, sent far down the landing, but I'm not sure if that's going to improve, Michelle.
That's true. The look back, so much style.
That's tough when you have a second run to improve your score and you know how good your first run was. You know that just to break even, you have to stomp everything just as smooth and not miss any tricks before you can even think about getting a better score by adding something new.
Look at this whip.
I think the whip was better in run 2 than it was in run number 1.
I think so. I love to see it.
Sailed far down the landing as well.
Waiting on the score here. 76. That is not going to be improvement. She will stay in third place after that run.
Not a lot of riders choosing to ride in the wind. You see the Pacifico flag waving. Final results for the women look like this.
We've got Vinnie Armstrong in third place. Then we have Casey Brown in second place. And in first place, we have Camila Nogueira, who is down at the base with Keolani. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. We are here with not only last year's winner, but 2022 Proving Grounds champ, Cami. You killed it out there. You established yourself as really the queen of Proving Grounds by hitting that bomber drop. How are you feeling?
Feeling good and feeling stoked. I did all that I wanted, so yes, happy with my run and with the days go in general.
How's the vibe been with all the women? We had a pretty good field of women out here this year, and you all seem to support each other and give each other tips. Like, how is it different from last year?
I don't know, you know, they're all my friends, so I'm always stoked to be riding with them, and it's the best part, you know, like be with them and enjoy the ride.
That's awesome. It was so awesome to watch all of you women, and you killed it, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keelani. That was mind-blowing. And coming back, we have one more opportunity for these men to face the conditions and shake up that podium when we return to Proving Grounds.
The Bend, Oregon native dropping in with a big 360 off the rider's right option. Going into that kicker drop now. What's he got for us? A backflip, smooth to the landing. Able to clear that really difficult connector dirt-to-dirt double. He's coming into the cannon now. Oh, 360 off the cannon. He lands it. Wow! A bit of an over-rotation, but he holds on. Does he have the speed for the jump? Oh, massive flat spin. Oh, he is coming for you, DJ Brandt. Into the big drop. Toboggan. Scoring points absolutely everywhere he can. Finishing things off with a smooth 360. Let's hear it for Carson Storage.
Wow. He was so nose up on that E3.
No way. Wow, let's take a minute to just kind of digest that run.
Proving Grounds, part of the Natural Selection Tour, is presented by Pacifico. Live life, anchors up. And supported by 510 and Fox Racing.
Well, there we go. Cammie's job for the day is done. She just went back-to-back wins. The queen of Proving Grounds enjoying a nice, cold Pacifico. But as for the men, they got a whole lot more work to do. It's going to be interesting to see who all takes their second runs as the conditions become more and more challenging. It looks like Nikolai Ragakin is up for the task. So if you think back to Nikolai's first run, he had an issue mid-course on that cast roll. He's starting out strong again here. Flat drop 360, rider's right. Suicide no-hander on the Industry 9 Hydra drop. Boom, smooth backflip. So everything the exact same as run number one. We know what he needs to fix here in run number two. Checks that box of a fully extended tuck no-hander off of the Yeti meat cannon. It all comes down to this. He goes for it again and stomps it. Nikolai Ragakin clean on the cast roll.
Puts it down, come on.
Nice big suicide no-hander off the bomber drop. One last feature, a backflip, clean landing.
Yes.
Nikolai Ragakin does it.
That feels good, that's amazing. Celebrating in the corral, I love it.
Oh, you can always expect Nikolai Ragakin to do two things. Absolutely go for glory and then have the biggest celebration in the finish corral. Look at this cast roll. For a minute, I thought he was over-rotating again, but he adjusted. He opened up his body a little bit to slow down that rotation and put it clean right down 2 tires on the landing.
Score is in at an 88.
Nikolai, you just came down on your second run. You went into 5th place, but what's more exciting is that you got that cash roll that you missed on the first run. How are you feeling right now?
Exactly, Keelani. Thank you. It was a lot of pressure on me in that second run. First run, cash roll went not completely wrong, but just had a crash on it, and it felt a bit hopeless. The wind was picking up there, so I had a lot of nerves racked up for that second run. You know, I was like, I just want to get down to the bottom, stomp this move, and that's what happened. 88 moving into 5th. The field out here is crazy. Brett and Emil are just throwing around the whips and the bars and just riding like absolute bosses. So I'm hyped right now, honestly.
That's awesome, and the conditions are changing, and I think there's some more riders going down. Are you hoping to stay in that 5th spot?
I would love to stay in the 5th spot. There's some heavy hitters up there that can step up their runs. But like I said, I'm happy to just make it down to the bottom, stomp the trick that gave me issues in the first run, and no complaints from me right now.
Awesome. Well, great work.
Thank you.
That's amazing. You can just feel his energy.
Now we got a happy Nikolai Ragakin at the bottom of the course, and then it's a different mindset at the top here for Bienvey. Bienvey at least with a smooth score from run number 1 to fall back on, but if I know this guy, I know he's gonna try to improve here in run number 2. So keeping things simple off the start drop, rider's right. A backflip on the step down for Bienvey this time. Into that front flip again. Now the big question here is, what is he gonna do on the meat cannon? We saw him front flip it 3 years ago. If he does that again, oh, he goes for the 360 this time. Similar to what we saw Carson Storage do. Now Bienvey aiming back towards this canyon gap. The black rhino double with a big Superman linking it back to back into that backflip. And then the scissor kick Indian air to finish things off.
Yes.
That 360 off of the meat cannon is definitely going to increase this score. The big question is, by how much? Where will he move on this leaderboard?
Things are looking dusty in the celebration. He is so psyched right now.
Nikolai and Bienvey, they do shows so often together, these big stadium shows with big bike ramps set up. They push their limits all year long, and you know, part of this is coming back from injury, riding at less than 100%, and then all of a sudden peaking at the right moment in your final run here. That's exactly what Bienvey just did.
Yeah, that's gotta feel good.
Waiting on the score here for Bienvey.
91.25 for run number 2. I think that gets him on the podium into 3rd place.
Wow, such a roller coaster for this guy battling injury. I mean, he traveled here all the way from Spain. To think he's sitting in a possible podium spot now, a lot of emotion. Let's hear from him, Keilani.
Bienvey, congrats, man.
Thank you.
You just did your final run.
Wow.
You seem so hyped. What just happened?
I just did the biggest 3 of my life, actually. I really wanted to front flip that one like I did in 2019, but my injury in my wrist, I was like not feeling it, and I really wanted to put a rotation on that one, so I was like, F it, let's 3 it. And it was last minute. I mean, I didn't want to risk. I was thinking on maybe Rampage because I'm second antenne, whatever. But I was like, if I don't do it, I'm gonna regret it. I was like, do it.
Well, it looks like it paid off. It put you into that third position, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Wow. Well, that's going to do wonders for Bienvey's confidence there. But look at this. Up at the top of the course, we have one more rider to drop, and it happens to be the unstoppable force on the slopestyle circuit, Emil Johansen. Obviously, with Reeder sitting in the lead with that 93.25, the judges are loving the slopestyle tricks on this course. What does he have for us?
If there's anyone that can knock Brett Reeder off that top 1st place position, it is Emil.
And look at this, he's picking up right where he left off in run number 1. The truck driver dropped into that opposite tail whip on the hip. He needs to get the bar spin on this wall ride because he got it in run number 1. He does. So right here, he's breaking even, but he needs some new tricks in this final straightaway of the course if he's going to take that top spot. There we go. He's getting that 450. He only had a toboggan in run number 1. Bigger extension on that backlip, 1-footed can. Last jump, he goes for the 3-whip.
Oh,
no. No way.
He was doing it. He was doing everything he needed to do.
He had improved in the middle of the course, but he needed to stomp that 3-whip. Wow, I mean, all the stuff that he did to break even is insane, but then the train flew off the tracks here. Looked like he was too corked out for that 360 tail whip. Luckily sliding out smooth.
Glad to see him up and walking around and dusting that one off. You don't see Emil mess up like that in his runs that often.
Well, guess what that means? I mean, that 93.25 is going to hold. Brett Reeder's going to win this competition.
Wow, what a day for Brett Reeder.
Wow, you don't see Emil off the podium very often, but there he is in 4th place. Brett Reeder taking the win with that 93.25.
And let's send it down to Keilani, who is standing with our men's champion.
Brett, you're here, you're back. You just won 2022 Proving Grounds. How are you feeling right now?
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here in this spot right now. Coming from Utah last week, not knowing I would be here, to signing up for my first contest in 2.5 years, to doing qualifiers, to finals, and now in the top spot is like, it's so surreal. It's gonna take a minute to download all this.
You're back in the competition scene. How does it feel to just have that vibe and the community back around you?
That is the reason I came. I did not come to win qualies or win finals. I came to support Casey and to be here with the mountain bike community, to see all my friends. I haven't left Canada in 2.5 years, and therefore I haven't seen anyone. And so I wanted to come, have the sessions with everyone, and now we're here.
And Proving Grounds is such a great place to come and enjoy that. And winning is also a little bit of cherry on top, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's the cherry on top, for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for joining us here in the hills of Prineville, Oregon for Proving Grounds. That was an incredible day to witness the best of the best riding at such a top level. On the women's side, my highlights included watching Cami hitting the biggest feature on the course today, and then Casey Brown coming back for redemption after 2019 and hitting the Megalodon, this beautiful hip feature all styled out. And then rounding off the podium was Vinnie Armstrong, and she just has my favorite whip in the game. It was such a blast to witness that. What do you think, Cam?
Just such a great day for freeride mountain biking as a whole. In the men's field, we had iconic moments. We also had some great comeback stories. Bienvey getting on the podium despite showing up here injured. He hadn't done a trick in 2 months. Landed in 3rd place. Dylan Stark achieving podium perfection. He was 3rd place last year, back on the podium in 2nd place this year. And then it was all about Brett Reeder. He's been battling so many injuries. He has been invisible the past couple years. He picks up right where he left off on the top step of the podium, using those incredibly technical slopestyle maneuvers, applying them to the huge terrain we have here in Prineville.
Such a good competition. Everyone leveled up and was stepping it up and pushing each other. We saw the best of the best today. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to catch you next time.